Ladies and gentlemen and ladies, all Fly Nerds Nerdettes, you are now in tune to the freshest, the flyest podcast in the universe. WFNG Fly Nerd Radio.
Cannons,
God.
lots of cannons, more and more cannons. Yo, we are canon in the Chicago mythos.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
We are anchor beings in the culture. You muted, fam. You muted.
Yo.
There you go.
All right. You are correct, young Padawan. We are anchor beings of the culture.
Bang, bang.
Kenny Keys, man.
So what's up with King?
He was saying the same thing. It's like we
word?
Anchor beings of the culture, man. We serve a purpose. And just going out, picking it, I get to see that shit in real time.
No, absolutely.
We went to a couple events. Shout out to Kevin Fair. We shout him out, saw him on his birthday party. It was his birthday, right?
No, it wasn't his birthday, but it was like 4 other cats that was there that was all December, Sag adjacent, or Sag and Scorpio, one of them. Early December babies. It was just a December birthday party for all of them.
Oh, okay. Well, that's cool.
Yeah. His birthday,
cool.
Because I came in like, it's your birthday. He's like, nah, it's him. Yeah, so we kicked it with them. Hey, shout out to Alienated.
Yes, shout out to Alienated. 8-8 crew, that's J Dot, Sean Doe. Who else? SP1.
Yeah.
And
well, for the people that were there when we were there versus, the greater Alienated crew.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that was I think those were the trio that was DJing that night.
Yeah. Those were the trio. So I think it was someone else, but if I'm missing someone, sorry, but shout out to y'all. It was really cool hanging out. And yeah, Chicago been popping. It snowed over the weekend.
It snows. It keeps snowing.
Hey, you know what's funny?
It keeps
I was
snowing.
Listening to Young Jeezy last night, and then it started snowing.
Wow.
I was like,
funny as hell. Hell no, shout out to the snowman.
You a fool for this one.
Hey, speaking of Jeezy, like when Jeezy was really like riding high in his space, like he really was weird. He's a weird dude. Like if you really listen to how he rhymes. He rhymes in slow motion.
But you know what? You know what though? I like this style. I liked how he did it because it was like some southern, like jokey.
I don't know what the fuck it was.
It was like
he was.
I wouldn't say
jokey,
but he had punchlines and he had metaphors and he had this delivery where he'll say it, and it's like because I mean, like, dude, he's doing. Young Jeezy got more songs with Jay-Z than Memphis Bleak.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like,
absolutely.
He could go toe to toe with dudes. So,
but
they got
then
cuts.
Like he say 3 words in a whole bar because he stretched the word out.
He stretched the word out.
He'd be like, "And I'll slice."
Nah, yeah. He'll be like, he'll be like, cuts on the wait. Roaches on the floor, turn the lights on, marble floors, like, yeah.
Yeah, I used to.
The way
he used to be fun.
But I did like his first album, 101 Thug Motivation. I like that album. It was a Def Jam album. It was actually a street, Atlanta street album.
A street,
you know
anthem,
what I mean?
Yeah,
and and he entertained. He had cuts on there. He had some bangers, like, for real. And then, during that time, I was in the hood too. I was on the 9. I was living off the 9, man. So you listen to that in the winter, And another shout out to the promotion. I think either me or Maxie was on the promo team for
Okay, for
that.
that particular project.
So we was the promo, you seen that snowman. That's where this come. It's like with Wu-Tang, you see
You
that
see the
W.
logo
Yeah, you see the logo, you know what I
because he
mean?
had the icy goon, the icy
He had
snowman.
he just had the snowman.
He had a
And
link
then
on.
yeah, he had a link on. Yep, yep,
Yep.
yep. And then but that was like a look. So the kids was like wearing the snowman shirts and shit. They was wearing this shit to school.
Hey, remember when? Yeah, they got in trouble for that. It was like, nah. Now that we know what that is, no cocaine man
Once the
around.
motherfucker figured that out, they was like, no.
No cocaine man around. Get out of here.
That was
That's some funny
hilarious.
shit. And
That's
it's
good.
one of the
That was
many
funny
things
marketing.
that reflects how the culture travels at the speed of thought.
Right.
So the culture is moving on. Then you get to the level of speed of light where people start to see what's going on. But they still
Yeah.
don't know what it is.
Right.
So then by the time they know what it is, it's already in the schools, and that's where the speed of sound catch you in because somebody tell them, hey, you know what that is, right?
Right. And
It's like, oh,
oh, get out of here with this.
too late. Too late. Sorry, my bad. Fucked up everybody because them kids were spending money on that shit. Them
Yeah.
shirts wasn't cheap.
But that's merch.
Yes.
That's the same thing. I didn't know Mass Appeal had a store.
Yeah, that's
I
where they
wanna go to this
started.
store.
I think they started early, long before they really hit this stroke they in now.
Okay.
They was media first.
Mm-hmm.
Then they was selling shit like different merch, and
Hmm.
that was really where they started to shine, right? Yeah, so you understand. See?
Hmm.
Yeah, it's stages to it. It's levels to it.
Mm.
You build your audience, then you
Mm-hmm.
provide your audience a product or a
Mhm.
service, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And then you just increase on the type of product and services you provide.
Jules.
And you control your content. You control your content and you control your streams of your distribution.
Jules. Dropping gems on them. Shout out to Mob Deep. Drop gem on them.
Yeah. Speaking of mass appeal, the crescendo hit.
Here we go.
The crescendo hit.
Here we go.
It hit hard. Like, yo, okay, so we talking about this. What is the name of this fucking album?
It's called Light Years.
I'll get that. Okay, I'll work with it. But yeah, it's the Nas and Premier album. The name is not sticking with me. Like I'm not connecting the theme. I don't get it. But nonetheless,
Yeah.
but we'll move past that, right? The
Uh-huh.
packaging is very like generic products on your shelf in the wall in like a store.
No.
You know,
Let's slow down on that. I actually like the album cover.
the
I
plainness.
like the what?
It's just black and white, right?
Nah, it's
No, that's the
color
one they were selling
photograph
before.
with
Oh yeah.
with him on
Oh, with
over
the
the shoulder, and then the picture is like gold, it's black, it's color, but
yeah,
it's black
that's the
background.
final color. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the color that photograph is
They
dope.
had
Nah,
another
because
one that came out before, like the pre one that was with the autograph. You
I
saw
don't
that one, right?
I don't
Yeah,
remember
it
that
was
one.
just black and white generic.
Because
It was
once
real
I
weird.
seen that picture, that's when I was like, oh, this shit about to be
Hey, the
oh,
pictures hit
like
harder
that
than the album, though.
photograph on the photograph level.
Yeah, the photography hit harder than the album. You know what I'm saying? But
Can you hear me?
now I can hear you. Yep.
Okay, cool. So yeah. Light years ahead of us, y'all. So
Sure, yeah.
so this is the Nas and Primo. This is the album that
Yeah.
everybody been awaiting for 30 fucking years. 20 to 30 years, depending on when you dropped and paid attention to Nas. But around that span, we've been waiting for a Premier and Nas album pretty much after Illmatic or after it was written.
Well,
which
it
are
was
two.
imagined, yeah, that they was. It seemed like it was should have been a natural progression
Because the
because,
bangers was just keep coming, you know.
yeah,
You had New York State of Mind, of course. You had Nas's Light. You had you know, I Gave You Power. You had all
hmm
these bangers that was coming from these two individuals, and people was asking for it. So we're gonna get into a deep conversation, y'all. So, you know, by the way, thank you for joining this ride through this black cultural experience. We are the Fly Nerd Group. We're your tour guides to this. And yeah, I'm the FNIC Cosmo Galactus. And this
and
is my partner,
I
Amby
am
Warhol.
the ambitious. Yeah,
Word.
man.
So, you know, so
Two
basically what we gonna
reactions
say on this shit, what we gonna say on this shit
is honesty.
is honesty. And motherfuckers, we ain't on the same, you know, people saying this now. So this is going to be a conversation. We're not going to avoid the elephant in the room. We're going to go ahead and tackle these topics one by one.
Yeah. So we can
Beat by beat.
let's frame this in the context of where we are in the hip hop sphere, right?
Okay.
So we're in the hip hop sphere. We've been having a slew of what I call the pillars of hip hop, the true practitioners of the culture. People who
Mm-hmm.
are not just people who come in and say, I want to rap, but actual people
Right.
who participate in the pillars of hip hop, in the elements of hip hop in different capacities. We talking DJing, MCing, breaking, graffiti. You know what I'm saying? Like getting into knowledge yourself, that whole space. These are MCs and DJs who live the culture. And they have been dropping for the past 2.5 years now straight?
Yeah. Yeah.
2.5 years straight. So we're in this space, and out of nowhere, in the midst of all these people dropping, Nas and his Mass Appeal brand says, "Hey, we about to drop 7 bangers.
Seven
We're about to
bangers.
drop the God number on you. About to hit you."
Oh shit.
And then we was like, "All right, man." Then they started releasing who it's gonna be, and we're like, "Oh, oh, oh, oh." And then Dayline, and then of
Yeah.
course that the promise of a Nas premiere album, and everybody was like, "Wait a minute, you're playing." And
Hmm.
people remember a year ago when
Hmm.
when the rumors was going, we was like, "Nah, these niggas ain't never doing an album. They
Right.
will never do an album because why now?"
Because
But it's
yeah,
timing.
why now? So what took so long? And
hmm
yeah, we're gonna get into this conversation because me and my boy Kenny Keys, we had a very thorough long conversation. And actually, yeah, let's all right, come on.
Yeah, we in it.
Get
So
into
so
get
Nas
into it.
Nas dropping heat bars verses on everybody's project throughout this Mass Appeal release segment, right? All throughout this year, every Nas verse was
Mm-hmm.
a banger. Like he was coming with the pen.
Yes.
Pen was ready. And
Yes.
then, this is
Yes.
off of his Hit Boy era, which man was man to
Uh-huh.
me,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I know how D feel about Nas, so I respect you, D, and what you say, but like it just wasn't hitting me like that. It
And
just
that's I looked at that, Nas. It was like a nigga came out of jail just getting back,
he
you know
getting
what I
warmed
mean? In
up,
the
right?
swing,
He a little
yeah, just
rusty or
getting in the
something.
swing of things and shit. Yeah, you a little
Yeah,
rusty. You want, dust the rust off.
yeah.
You might get with a producer real quick and just, do some joints. And then it's all right, let me get into the mode of doing albums and putting them out. And you learn in this new age ways of how to put out and present music. So then you go ahead and say, okay, well, if that worked over there, let's see how that work over here. And that's what he brought to Mass Appeal. And he took off not only with his album, but he was setting up this whole
He set
project.
up this whole multiverse where
Yeah,
all of them are technically in it together. So like it's
yeah,
crossing each other's albums and they own each other's shit like a little
yeah,
crew, a Mass
yeah,
Appeal team, which
yeah.
culminated in that the comic book. Shout out to Stanford Green who illustrated that dope comic. But Nas has a thorn in his side that I have never been able to get away or get around, which is why his albums are always mid to me. And it's the beat selection, the production. He could have like Hit Boy got some hits, got heat, but they ain't on the Nas albums.
Yeah, that's true. That's
Like
true.
why? Why are there? Why
But
are they not?
all right, so okay, so yeah, I always joked about this that Nas has a deaf ear when it comes to beats.
He can't hear notes.
Like he can, yeah, he is something, you know, you he got bangers now. Made You Look is a banger. That motherfucker,
That's
that's
not
one of the
Hit Boy
best
though. See,
songs,
that's what
you
I'm
know what I
saying.
mean?
Hit Boy.
That's Salam Remy.
Yeah.
That's you know, he got bangers. Like I said, with Premier, he got tons of bangers. Nas is like, you know, I was joking online and he was like, well, I'm one of them niggas that want Nas is like. So let's just get into this conversation, right? So Nas and Premier. So Premier was rocking. What year Premier started with Gangstar?
That was 80, I want to say 88, 89 when they really started getting it in.
Okay,
Now they
and what year was that Moment of Truth, the last Gangstar album? And
no, that
Guru, rest in peace.
Moment of Truth was not the last Gangstar. The Owners was the official last Gangstar
That's
album.
the last. What year was that?
That was 90, 97, 98. Let me look that
97,
up. That's a good
98.
question.
Damn.
That's
97,
a good
98.
question. I mean, they had a long run. The Owners was an interesting album because
What year was
that was
All In
actually no, that was
Together?
2003. The Owners
2000.
was
Okay, now
2003.
2003. Okay. All right. What year was Method Man and Limp Bizkit All In Together now?
Oh, that was way before that, wasn't it?
That was okay, so that was
Yeah,
before. All
right.
right. All right.
So those are totally different phases.
Phases. Glad you brought that up.
Hmm.
Phases.
Hmm.
So I don't know if that was an industry thing or whatever in the music industry, because we're talking about the music industry.
Right.
This is music that was provided by us by corporate labels,
Corporate
right?
sponsors.
You know what I mean? Corporate sponsors.
Hmm.
So when it comes to the culture, you cultivate the culture on your own, but it's based off the music that was served to us, right?
Right.
So every producer had an era. Eric Sermon had an era.
Correct.
Madlib had an era.
Hmm.
Dilla had an era. Pete Rock had an era. Q-Tip had an era.
Q-Tip had an era. Yes.
And DJ Premier had an era.
Yes.
And there's many other more sprinkled in. There's Marley Marl, you know, the RZA. You know, there's tons of
Yeah.
pockets and
The
points
beat
where
miners, the beat
Beat
nuts.
Miners, Diamond D, you know, Beat
Yeah.
Nuts, of course, you know what I mean? Dr. Dre, of course,
DITC, that whole crew.
DITC, you know,
Quick.
Battle Cat, Quick, you know, we could go No ID,
Yeah.
Twilight Tone,
Doug Infinite.
Doug Infinite, you know, Trackster,
Yeah. Mo
like
Man.
Mo Man, Kenny Keys, Taiwan Davis, Fifth Element,
Fifth Element. Rashid Hadi.
Rashid Hadi,
You know, the list goes
my
on.
cousin Vinny. Like we just
Like
doing Nas tonight because he shut
yeah.
out niggas. So we could do that. We could do that. We could go down the line and talk about eras of niggas from today, from yesterday to past, present, and future, right?
Correct.
DJ Premier had an era. It was the 90s.
And it was a healthy run. He did R&B tracks for groups.
Yeah, he did
He
Christina
did
Aguilera. He did
yeah.
D'Angelo, Devil's Pie. Rest in peace, D'Angelo, Devil Pie. One of the dopest songs that of the universe.
That was a
Like
great
that's
ass
one of
track.
the dopest songs of the universe. Like there's Devil Pie. You listen
Yeah.
to what D'Angelo is saying and
What he
breaking
really
that shit
digging in? Yeah,
down.
he went
Yeah,
in.
man. Yeah, man. That's a deep song. So
Yeah.
and that beat's supposed to have been for Cannabis, but Cannabis couldn't work that out.
Cannabis has cannabis
What?
issues. That's all I
I
can
heard
say.
that beat. I'll go crazy. Like, and probably will stick to the subject matter of Devil Pie. Like, it's a very sinister.
But
So Premier had a sound, right? He worked at D&D Studios with this engineer. I think his name was Eric something. Kenny Keys told me this.
yeah,
So once a producer work with an engineer, you develop a fucking sound, right?
yeah, you
And
have a
then you get
relationship.
that shit popping. You master your beats, you get your drums sounding crispy, and then you stay close with that engineer. It's just like Guru. Shout out to Guru. So people think that it's just the producer that makes the music, make the magic, but no, the engineer is the motherfucker that put it all together for you.
Shout
You
out
know what I
Bob
mean?
Powers.
Shout out to Bob Power. Shout out to Guru. Shout out to all the engineers out there. Parks, all them motherfuckers, these engineers that mix and master these records, and then it's ready for the public enjoyment. If not, frequencies be all fucked
Be
up
all over the
everywhere.
place and shit don't be right. As we
Distortions
hear
and
in a
all this
lot of
shit.
releases.
Yeah, yeah,
We
yeah.
hear it a
Yes.
lot.
Yeah. A lot of new releases there. Y'all ain't mixing y'all shit. And it shows. So
Yeah.
you
Like the
know,
Black Moon first album.
you like the Black Moon first album. Yes, sir. That's
Yeah.
definitely
It was all over the place.
yeah, all over the
You could
place.
tell when they had some money behind certain
The
songs, they
first
take
Smith and Wesson, The Shining, them first three songs be low as hell, and then it
The
pick up like
Shining.
after Recognize, like
Yeah,
some,
yeah,
you
it
know what I
switched
mean? Like
because
it.
there were songs they produced early, and then they
Mm-hmm.
once they got some engine behind them and some industry behind them, and Duck Down was becoming a thing. Then they
Yeah,
had a little
them
more
singles and all them shit.
yeah,
So
shit started
yeah,
to
they
get
start.
polished and get
Yeah,
nice.
yeah. So then the rest of the album ain't nothing wrong with it. I like the grit.
No, it's
I
a part of
like
the
it.
it's a part of the process.
I like it. So it's is a certain sound that you're producing, and this is what Premier was known for. It was the boom bap hip hop shit with the scratches, which was signature
What did he
scratches.
use?
He
A
started what
SP12
he
or did
did.
he use a or was he using a MPC only? Do you know?
I don't
Sounds
know.
like an MPC like
Sound like an MPC, but based off the chopping and shit that he did. So this was a formula, you know what I mean? So, Pete Rock had a formula, Q-Tip had a formula, you
yeah.
know, Dre
They all
had a
were doing something.
formula, everyone's doing something. They sampling, they chopping, they remixing, they filtering,
They're
they
arranging
they arranging, they're playing it over, they're doing all
whatever they're
types of
doing.
shit to music arrangement. So this is what the producers was doing, and this was Premier's specialty was the chops and the scratches. When
The
I heard
scratch is
him
heavy.
live, when I heard Gangstar live, I was more excited to hear Premier scratching the the
Yeah,
hooks.
because it was flawless. When he does it live,
It,
it sounds like the record.
it sound like the record. They did X girl to the next girl. He went in, girls look
Next.
so good. Like he
Yeah, he
was
was
doing that shit live. That was more exciting and no disrespect to any parts of Guru, because if it wasn't for him, a lot of these groups and a lot of this hip hop shit wouldn't be moving. But just hearing Premier live with them scratches was titillating for me. So yeah.
I
But
almost
there
wanted
was
to
a
say
point of
pause on that
time.
titillating. Go ahead. That was funny.
But there was a time where hey man, producers evolve, music evolved. So you asked what was he using an MPC? So now we're in the 2000s where, I was warning niggas about the machine before it got popular, just for a fact too. There was a few producers that got onto the machine real early. You know what I mean? And that was a point where you had the actual console, the B pad, right? So you could still press your button samples and do your mixing and all that stuff like you had an MPC, but it's like portable because
Without yeah,
you could plug it into your computer and use a computer program. So now it's kind of like both worlds. It's not Fruity Loops exactly because you could actually do real time sampling and drum programming and shit like that. But
the big one
at
was
the
the SP 1200.
but There you go.
That was the one that opened the floodgates where because like Pete Rock was an SP 1200 cat.
Okay, so that's a different groove, different
Yeah,
warmth, different type of
different.
arrangement.
Yeah, it's a different way that it like you sampled and you had to you had your seconds, right? You had your number of seconds, and same as all that. But it was precursor to the MPC world. And
Mm,
so you was either at that time you was either SP 1200, you was a like a Kurzweil K2000, which was the keyboard that
mm,
sampled as well. And
mm-hmm.
so those are different spaces, but depending on which device you use would take you in a different direction where you could only go where that production, where that machine allowed you to go, which
Okay.
is why P Rock went where he went and why like Premier went where he went. Then you had other producers whose sounds like Q-Tip and Dre, they had a more expansive studio setup. And you could
Mm.
tell by the type of production they were doing. They were all over the place.
They was all over the place, but then it was a solid like sound too. He was crisp. Dre shit was crisp. You know what I mean? Pete Rock was groovy, but it always had the bass. It's like it's
He was
certain
layered. He would
layers.
filter bases out
Yeah,
and redo the
filter.
bass.
Yeah. So he had a very deep groove every time. And
Hmm.
Dilla emulated that, and he triple timed what, because if Pete on this level, then you gotta up the scales of your own, because Pete crazy.
And
Pete is
Pete keeps
crazy.
evolving. Pete has never
Yeah, so
stopped.
this was the conversation I had with Kenny Keys back in the day. We used to say, who was the best producer, DJ Premier or Pete Rock? And that motherfucker will always say Pete Rock. He stood on business with Pete
I
Rock.
would
He stood
agree.
on business with Eric Sherman, and he stood on business with Dilla, and he stood on business with Pete Rock. And I was like, okay, and Madlib.
Yeah, but these are all people with those expansive productions.
Yeah, expansive ears and
Their
creativity.
landscape is
Yeah, the
broad.
landscape is crazy. So he stood on business with Pete Rock. Now, here we are today. What happened? Hip hop changed, the way you make music changed, the way you produce music has changed. Like I was just saying, with computer programming and new machines and new technology that you could use to make beats. Anyone can make beats, anyone can record a record. If you had GarageBand or some shit like that, you could go ahead and make you a little album real quick. Niggas at the crib probably right now making tracks. People going to make some after they listen to us right now, right? So,
100%.
you could do anything now. What have these producers done to evolve into this new day age of producing and making music? Because we're still in the sense of talking about ageism, talking about all the classic niggas, all the veterans is still out here making music for 2025, and the list goes on and on. It's probably going to be more next year. You know what I mean? So
Oh, it's
we
not going to stop
all,
now.
yeah, this not stopping. So we all is at the point of we making music like Ghostface say, I'm gonna make music till I'm 80, till I can't walk on stage no more. Like, Ghostface be talking crazy and shit.
Yeah,
But he meant that.
yeah, he meant it.
I think he meant that. He gonna rap
And why
and do
not?
shows.
And
Yeah,
why
why
not?
not? Why not?
Why not? Like I
Why
don't
not?
like I ain't trying to hear that. Let them do it. Let us like
Yeah.
nobody should have to stop doing their
That's the
art.
purpose of the mass appeal, I feel like, and that's the purpose of
100% mass
Nas
appeal.
putting this together and setting it up for his album. But back to the DJ Premier, when do you think Premier fell off? Let's just get to it. There was
Premiere.
a point of time where DJ Premier fell off.
Well, so let's talk about why Premiere was even in the conversation.
Okay, let's
Premiere
go.
was only in the conversation ultimately because of Gangstar Foundation.
Okay.
That's what set the bar. Yeah, he did production on the Nas album and it was dope, but it
Right.
was the continued Gangstar releases after release
He
after
worked
release.
with Biggie. He worked with Group Home. These are
Yeah,
all
these are all.
classic
But see,
albums.
Group
J.
Home is
Rue the
Gangstar
Damager.
Foundation. That's
Yeah.
all
Okay. You're right.
foundation.
Gangstar Foundation. Got you.
That's the whole foundation. So all
Perfect.
MOP,
Perfect.
all them cats is like
Yeah.
Kenny,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Bumpy Knuckles. All of them
Yeah.
are the
Big
foundation.
Shug.
Afu Ra. Like these are all Gangstar Foundation at that time. So he had a whole world that he was able to curate the soundtrack to, but these were all dope
Mhm.
artists. So
Right.
they
Right.
added the brevity to his production, which was average at best. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, and I peeped this back then. I used to listen to Gangstar, and then I go pull up something produced by Mole Men and be like, "What's the difference?" And in some instances, Mole Men
that
had
was
an
the
edge.
conversation. That was
Mole
the
Men had an edge.
conversation with the keys. So that's a formula that spread it throughout the hip hop community, and motherfuckers could take a MPC and do chops just like Premiere. Like you could do that shit.
The device
now,
controlled the narrative.
So simple. So yes, and Mo Man had that formula as well. Shout out to PNS, shout out to Panic, shout out to Memo.
Yeah.
Hopping and killing with the shit, you know what I mean? Finding clever samples, finding other records, and
the obscurity of
shout out to Gramophone. Yeah, shout out to Gramophone. Shout out to Dr. Wax. Shout out to Reckless. Niggas go out there and dig, and Dusty Grooves. All them niggas, they go out there to find these records and get busy. So this was a hip hop thing. Right? So Premiere was the staple of the hip hop sound, so to speak, the hip hop production.
They were the perfect synergy of hip hop culture because they embody all the elements.
So what do you do to evolve? Because now we're in 2025, and we heard Pete Rock. Just talked about Pete Rock and Common. What was that, last year?
Yeah, and they murked it earlier. Yeah, they murked it.
They murked.
I mean, I'm one of the people about Q-Tip, that LL Q-Tip's production on that.
There you go. There you go. Right.
Like that shit is futuristic as hell.
We got Mobb Deep. Havoc came out the bag.
Body. We have Pharrell coming up with.
Pharrell came out. You didn't have to do none of this shit, man. That's the killer for me. That's the hilarious part. It's like, Pharrell, you could have just stayed in Louis Vuitton and just made your money. He was like, nah, I'm going to murder these niggas. He an Aries. He said, I'm going to murder these niggas.
Right.
I'm going to make some records with my crew. That's dope.
So let's talk about what happened with Premiere, which is different from the other producers. Premiere, the Gangstar Foundation crumbled. And it started to crumble before Guru passed away.
Okay.
Gangstar, I mean, based on the stories and the rumors and the conjecture that we do know about, the context we do know about, Guru was in some shit with Solar, whatever the fuck that nigga was.
Yeah.
So Gangstar, Premiere's evolution was through Guru. Guru come in and say, we need a new song. We need to do a new album. Here's my bars. This is what I'm on. This is where I'm at. You need to match me.
Right.
And Guru was evolving lyrically. Every album got better.
Absolutely.
So the Owners drops, Guru is at his peak lyrically. What he had figured out on Moment of Truth.
Which records was on the Owners?
What was that? Well, the Owners was one of the tracks, but that single that he did, he only did one single, but he had the Militia Part 3 on there.
Oh, the Militia. Okay, yeah.
He had that on there, but the Owners was the last one, and Skills was on the Owners because that was the title the first single.
Got you. Okay.
And a bunch of other names because I don't really go back to that album nowadays. That album is not one of the first albums I go to for Gangstar. I always start, further back.
No, I'll tell you real quick because that's what, man, shout out to Keys, man. So he said Daily Operation, Hard to Earn, and maybe Moment of Truth.
That's the core. That's the core.
And I agree with that. That's the core. I threw in Step Into the Arena. I like Step Into the Arena, Daily Operation, and Hard to Earn.
Okay, so that's your trifecta.
Yeah, that's
I do like Step In. So Step in the Arena was my introduction to them. I mean, granted they had the one before that, but I don't.
Yeah, no more Mr. Nice Guy, but I wasn't with that one.
But that Soliloquy of Chaos.
Yeah, that shit.
Like what is that? Love Sick.
Yep.
My goodness.
Yep.
That sample had me on the man.
But it was the lyrics too, because Guru was writing songs that I'm
Complete.
not familiar with.
Yeah.
LL
He's
had
doing
I Got
themes. He's doing
Love,
different
but
themes.
he was doing themes and he was sticking to it and he made full records out of this. So then when he evolved from that, from Step Into the Arena, we got Daily Operation.
Which was
X Girl to the
crazy.
Next Girl was the first single. You could have did the fucking song with Lil Dap and J. Rule to push that out. You know what I
Nah, but
mean?
they
But
understood the assignment because this is the whole reason where we getting at with what happened with Premiere.
Mhm.
When you get to that level of success that Gangstar had got to, remember they're the ones that innovated even the term Nas is using, mass appeal.
Right, yes.
That's Gangstar song. So Nas's influence coming from that foundation, Gangstar and Premier Pete, because Gangstar was Premier making beats for Guru. Guru breaks up with him and then passes away. What is his motivation? He had none.
There you go.
He had
There you
none.
go.
He lost
There
his
you
motive
go.
because that was what was
There you
motivating him.
go.
That was his push.
Yeah.
So now
Yeah.
he's sitting in a room like, well, I'm not inspired. I got nobody to make beats for
Yeah.
to push
Yeah.
my envelope.
But
Because
then
again,
he started working with Royce the 5'9" with
nah, it's not the
Prime.
same thing. It's not the same thing. So so making beats for somebody randomly, you know what I'm saying? It's Pete Rock and CL Smooth, right?
But okay,
So
so they
then
up and
Pete
Pete.
Rock does solo. He's writing and producing for himself. There is no greater bar to produce for than yourself. You your own worst critic. See, Premiere never had that world to step into. Well, we already see it in real time.
But that's what I'm saying. No, that's what I'm saying. So
Yeah,
that's what happened. So he worked for self. He
he
put
works
out
for
the
self.
BBC production album, and then he did the Soul Brothers, and
Yeah,
then
and then he started doing collab albums,
he
and he's
started doing collab
nonstop.
albums. And
Now
even
that's a
so,
stretch.
he worked with Smoke DZA, he worked with Camp Low, he worked with production with other motherfuckers
Public
and doing
Enemy.
shit. And let me tell you something. Niggas was stealing Pete Rock beats from the get-go. You know what I mean? So, you hear those stories of who did what and what did woo and who did whatever. You hear that Pete Rock is always the main person that
Y-
someone
Let
stole from.
Let's talk
So,
about this. Let's talk about this, right? Because now you're in
mhm.
a space that also relates to where Premier lost his shine, right? Or
Yeah.
where he fell off. So some of the reasons, and this is for people who weren't there, who weren't into hip hop at that time. I understand if you wasn't there, you're not gonna connect to this nuance that makes us have a different view. What made Pete Rock a dope producer was not just that, oh, that's a good song. The sample was obscure and like, oh, he flipped that.
Right.
They reminisce over you. No one had ever touched before. Ever.
Never.
The Wick. No one had ever touched that bass
But
line
that's primo.
ever. Yeah, that's my
Primo.
point.
Okay.
This is what made them dope. Then as Premiere progressed, he started digging into more spaces. He started hanging around more complex diggers. Premiere was still digging in his spaces, and again, we know that it was Guru who was really the jazz head. That's where the jazz samples was coming from. See what I'm saying? That's where those connections to jazz was coming from. It's a jazz thing was a Guru motivated song, not a Premiere motivated track. So now we getting into that whole thing of diggers like Pete who kept digging, getting into the Brazilian sound and getting into the Caribbean sound and digging into all
Right.
these obscure spaces, which
Right.
pushing
Okay.
his production.
Yeah.
Premiere, I feel like he had a collection and he stayed with the collection he already had because the sounds that he was using were the same elemental sounds. There was nothing unique anymore. He had Pete.
There's something missing into that too. We mentioned D&D Studios. D&D Studios had closed down as well. So once you lose touch with your engineer as well, you lose that second half.
Yeah, especially if you had that kind of relationship,
All
that
you
symbiotic
producers,
relationship.
all you producers out there, save your drums.
Hold on. Don't do that. They're beat makers if they're not saving no fucking drums. They just beat makers. They ain't producers. Yeah, don't even give them that title. You ain't producing if you don't have your own curated core music and instruments. You have to have your signature sound. We knew a Pete Rock fucking album and a Premier song without any
Hey.
notes.
So there we got snatch the gems back.
You knew that Pete Rock produced that song or that Q-Tip produced that track just from hearing the drums.
Right.
Because there's a certain sonic frequency that they all had because it was their
drum
tuned
pack
ear.
niggas? Are you drum pack niggas? That's a wild. This a wild way to how.
It's a good intro
right now, man.
It's a good intro. My problem is that they're all having the Pete Rock. I mean, the Premier effect. The Premier effect is once you get to a certain level, again, the Gangstar sound became his signature, and he stayed there because that's what people wanted. Pete Rock didn't have a signature, but he had a range. Only thing you knew you was gonna get from Pete Rock is some horns and a bass line, which is a whole lot of space to play in. You know what I'm saying? There's always some weird ass horns.
Yeah, the horn was Pete's specialty, boy. You got
like, where you getting these horns from, dude? Like, you got more horns than there are horns in songs. Like, you was all up in the horns. But
I got all up in the horns.
But like you said it best. What was Premier primarily known for? Scratching. You came for the scratches.
Yeah.
I came for Guru. The beats were the backdrop to those two elements of hip hop.
Yeah.
So he never had to push the envelope because he had a dope MC always to carry his rhymes. His beats, I mean. Shit. The rhymes carried his production even when it started to get normalized.
Yeah.
Like, I'll give you a perfect example. What's the joint with on Moment of Truth with Inspector Deck? Above the Clouds. If you really listen to that, that is the same element of sampling that he used on Come Clean. It's that same type of he has. That's a very specific element of how he produces his beats. He has a bass line, then he has a something in the high mid range that comes after the bass line.
But Come Clean was a classic because he was sampling what was drops and what's them not those drums, those
the turtle shells.
Sound like them hollow drums, the turtle shells and shit, right? So that was a crazy, and that's a flip, right?
That's when these are the
creative flips that he was doing.
That he was doing at one point.
That he used for Biggie and all that shit. Like these were bangers he was making. So, but that creativity has, and like you said, I guess it's the motivation.
He was motivated by the MCs that were on the tracks.
that was around him, and the money and the checks, and
you got a J.
And not to say all of that, but you know,
concepts.
Yeah, you got crazy concepts. You got Afu Ra. You know what I mean? So Radford and Math, he was.
Like again, we talked about MOP. You gotta do beats for MOP.
Yeah, for MOP.
You have to produce for MOP.
Standard. It's a certain.
Oh shit! No
you
way.
Can't give him no weak shit.
No, you cannot. So now he's not doing that. He doesn't have the motivation. So what does he do? He kind of falls into the pocket. He's not inspired to push the envelope because he's trying to maintain that sound that he was famous for, which was the Gangstar sound, even though Gangstar is no more.
All right. So we move forward to 2025 here. It's this Nas and Premier album that everyone was anticipating, and we listened to it. Now, when I listened to it, I was going to work and shit, and I was geeked because it's split. It splits for me. Yeah, there's a little caveat to this, man. Let me add a little caveat to this. So I was split because I think this was the best of Nas that I heard in a very fucking long time. So there's certain ways how I listen to beats sometimes, listen to albums. Sometimes I go for the lyrics first.
Yeah.
So I hear I'm going for what was said, what was presented, concepts. I'm going with metaphors. I'm going with build up. I'm going with stories. I'm checking for everything, vocal inflections. I'm checking for everything here with Nas. this sometimes Nas rhyme on the 3, and he rhymed on the 3 on some of these
A few.
appearances, a few of them. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? He rhymed on the 3. You know, run it back, run it back.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Nas was in the pocket on this album. He was rhyming on the bars, and he was doing some shit. It was kind of
He
like,
was MCing.
he was MCing like a motherfucker, bro. So Nas came through and he was murdered. Like the first track felt like a fucking super villain, like exposing his plan and shit, dude. Like
Oh
some
yeah.
doom
Yeah.
shit. Like, really? He
Like, yeah,
talked
I was
about,
like stuck. I was like, hey, wait a
yeah.
minute, what the fuck just happened?
He,
Like,
he's
this some
talking about
fourth wall shit. You just broke the fourth wall or some shit. Like, this is my fiendish plots. Like, get the fuck out of here. So I'm with you on
So
that.
shout out to the comic book. So there's some comic book shit. Like Nas is
He
fully into
monologued his
his
devious plan. I was like, wait, who the fuck? What's wrong with you, dude? I was buzzed.
nuts.
I was like, wait.
Wait a minute.
I had to go back. I was like, wait a minute, you really telling what you did?
Nas has amazing intros, right? He'll have New York State of Mind. He'll have The Message. He'll have all these first songs where you listen to Get Down on Godson.
Yeah.
So the first time you hear Nas, and then Nas come up with this devious plan to take over hip-hop culture with the iron fist.
You just listening like, wait a minute.
Like Nas on some
Are you the hero or the villain
shit.
here? What's going
So
on?
Nas won, man. Nas won to me, man. If you think about the longevity of it and just of what it is, Nas came back with a killer, man. So yeah, he set all this. This was a setup, Nas. You set us up, Nas.
It was a needed victory because he hadn't been hidden for me, and I was annoyed by so many people, Nas, and I was like, but what is he doing? Like,
And
he
that's what a
hadn't
lot
hit
of
me.
people say. So let's get to with the flip side of it. A lot of people say Nas is overrated. A lot of people saying Nas ain't no more. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm giving him his flowers and
Yeah.
victories because he put the forth effort not only to work on this project, but to put out his comrades too that he was touring with, making money with. You know what I mean? That needed some outlets to put out their creativity, good or bad. You know what I mean? Like it was just a project that I commend him for because he didn't have to do this, but he
No,
did
he
it.
did have to do it. That's the secret ingredient, G. Check it out. Nas been lackluster for a while.
So
He ain't
back to
been his
back.
best. So what did he do to push the envelope of his skills? Surrounded himself with fucking MCs.
Killers.
He surrounded himself and was on every single album, which means he was in the studio with all.
Yeah.
He's in the studio with Paz,
Yeah.
Ghost,
Yeah.
Ray. Come on.
Yeah.
What do you think is gonna happen? Nas is gonna rise to the occasion
After
because he's an
tour,
MC.
they did this New York tour where they doing
Mhm.
this mix up of songs. So you just don't get a Nas set per se.
Nah,
You
he
get a
just
Nas
own it.
song. You may be on a song with Raekwon, you know what I mean? Maybe
Yeah.
they might do verbal intercourse here, Ghost come and do a song, and Method Man come and do a song, and Busta Rhymes come and do they
Right.
was doing a real mixtape thing and features.
Mhm.
Redman might pop out. He
So
ain't
now
on
he
the whole tour.
he getting synergized and magnetized by
So
all
that's
this
what I'm
energy.
saying. So with his comrades, so now Nas
Murders the album.
on final form mode. Nas is final form Goku on your ass. Go
No,
there.
this is not. I think he's still going. I think he's
You
not
think
there
there's
yet.
more?
Yeah, I
Okay.
think there's more. Because knowing how MCs are, let's talk about the MCs. Let's talk about the circle, our circle.
Let's get into
Is
it.
there a fight? Is there a limit? Each time you come
No.
back and evolve, you go to
No, you
another
go
new
stronger.
phase.
You come back stronger.
He
You come
is
back stronger.
he just found his mojo with this album. So now
Yeah.
he's in the pocket. The next album is the one, and I hope it's not Premiere, and I'm gonna tell you why. I listened, the first song comes on, and this is the beat starts, and this is me. I'm literally like, what? Oh no, don't do this to me. I heard the beat and I was like, no, 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 no. And then
See, I
Nas
canceled
started.
it out. I was
Yeah.
into the rhyme. I
Nah,
was into
nah,
the
nah. Fuck that.
rhymes.
We gotta bring it back to what the complete album, which is a Nas Premier album, and Premier did not deliver the way Nas delivered.
There you go.
Them
There you
beats was
go.
mid for
Yeah.
Premier,
Yeah.
which is
For
now we're
Premiere.
getting back into maybe
For
it is Nas. Because now
Nas has a particular ear for beats, man. So
Illmatic, Nas did not pick the beats.
no, that was constructed. That was
That
put
was
together.
Large Pro and Q-Tip.
Yep.
That was Large Pro primarily.
Yep.
That was the Queen's Connection, so that was Large Pro and
Yep.
Q-Tip.
And Q-Tip. And
So that was the curators. These dudes
and
are
Search and
like
all
nothing
that.
but dope ass beats. Ever since he's been in control, you know what I'm saying? And this album, I'm like, maybe we can blame Premier, but maybe we need to blame Nas.
Maybe.
Like Nas lyrically, MC wise, is brilliant. Like he proved why he is considered one of the best MCs.
So this nigga, he started rhyming about pause tapes. And actually, the pause tape was the setup for Live at the Barbecue, which was the verse that he premiered on. So it was a setup for, he's like you said, he's breaking fourth walls here. The MCing he's doing, he's telling you little background, little Easter eggs and shit. You know what I mean?
This should have been called the autobiography of Nas if they was smart.
It should have been the autobiography of Nas, because then we go into other songs where he's talking about writers, where he's using metaphors of graffiti,
tagging. Yes, he's going in,
and he's going into the science of why we was doing it, hitting the trains, hitting up everything. Yeah. We always kept something in our pockets. We always, even me, had a marker somewhere, had a scratch rock or something, something where you could tag on and talk about defamation, criminal. Like, he broke a whole lot of shit down about writers, and in addition to, did a major shout out to a lot of writers over the world. Not just New York. Facts. He was mentioning a lot of writers over the world that's doing very dope shit. You know what I mean? What made me say shout out to Static. I said shout out to Static. You know what I mean? When I went out to Art Basel with him, he was hitting up shit. That's how, and all the writers that was out there, man, it's writers everywhere. So that's hip hop shit, man. He wrote that. He did a song about women where he was shouting out the divine femininity of hip hop. So he broke that shit down and shout out all the women in hip hop. Like a long list. When you listen to that list, that shout out list, you was like, yeah, there is more than a top 5. Like, dude, it's crazy. As much as women rapping. Man,
listen. If you go through the entire history
of women in hip hop,
and we're not talking about the mainstream.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
We're not talking about actual hip hop culture.
Actual hip hop culture. Who all partaked in it? It could be from Gangsta Boo to motherfucking Jean Grey, and these is motherfuckers that he mentioned. You know what I mean? Shay Noor. Like, he mentioned.
He went deep too.
Yeah, he went deep in his list of people. My homegirl was like, oh, he shout out all the women in him.
Yeah, he went through it.
Like, yeah, he went through it. So that he battled himself on there. Nas, Nasir, and Nasty. Like, what the
Nasty
fuck?
Esco, yep.
So, and he did vocal inflections and shit.
Yeah, he did the Redman Reggie Noble thing.
Yeah, he did the Redman Reggie Noble Green Island, or Doc Redman meets Reggie Noble type
Doc
shit.
Spock type shit.
Yeah, man. Nas was in this bag, so I give it to Nas.
Yeah, Nas gets it. Premier didn't,
and Premier didn't though.
So that makes that so that now we get into a space of like, okay, so we can champion Nas, and I will be listening to this album in rotation because of Nas.
Yeah,
the beats are good enough. The beats are good enough.
It's good
They're
enough.
Just not what I know.
Would you say is mid?
Do like,
but is he doing? But no, that's the question. Is he doing?
No, not one thing. No, was there a Premier song on
Since
there that hit your gut, made you go, "Ooh, that's that bank"? Like, was there a Come Clean? Was there a Dwick? Was
I
there
like
a
Madman.
Mass?
I like
That was
Madman beat. That was kind of, but it's a whole feel. It's like what you said. There's the feel in your gut. I like beats on there, and yes, they're premiere-ish beats, but no, there isn't a mass appeal. To going what stands with the
yeah. There's
mass
nothing that
appeal, like
hits you
there's
like that,
no
and
nah,
that's
there's
what
not a
I was
Nas's like.
expecting.
There's
I,
not none of
I
that
was
on there.
expecting every single banger or every single track to be a banger.
But were your expectations too
No,
high
because
based off the
Premier has them. Even if he could have
climate?
pulled the old shit out, he could have did it. Every song could have been New
My
York State. You see what I'm
expectations
saying?
wasn't that high because there haven't been. That's why I was talking
Yeah.
with Keys. There haven't been anything that I heard from Premier that really was banging. And he
But
done
he
stuff
ain't.
with West
Yeah,
Side. He
but
done stuff with Rock
yeah,
Marciano, with
yeah.
Ransom. I heard the Ransom album is better, so I might go and sit
The
down and
beats are
listen to
better
that.
on there. That's why I'm saying I think it might be a Nas thing.
Ah, so the beats are better on there.
The beats are better on that Ransom production. I mean, I don't
Okay.
know why. Again, I don't know if it's Premier or if it's
Ah.
Nas.
So
I
never mind then. All right. Well, let me hold the
that's
horses
what I'm
on the
saying. We
Premier
know
then.
that. Listen, if there was one, if Nas had a ooh la la on this album, a beat like that.
There you go. There you
See what I'm
go.
saying? That's not
There
a
you go.
complex, but that's a
Yeah,
that's a
that's a
Premier
banger.
style
Yeah, there you
curated by
go.
LP with the
Shout
beat, the
out, yeah,
drums.
shout out to Run the Jewels. That
But
shit is a
there
banger.
was no ooh la
And
la's
Greg
on
Nice.
this.
It was no ooh la las. It was no,
And
it
that's
was no ooh la
crazy.
las. There
That's
was no
crazy
ooh la
talk.
las.
Nas on a ooh la la?
There
Come
was no ooh la
on.
las.
Come
No
on.
ooh la las. Okay.
Are we
All
Nas
right.
on the are we? Get off of
We.
Nas's are we? Like, come on. Hey, what's up? That's what I'm saying. Like,
Oh,
I
shit.
wanted Nas over that.
Those
Look,
bangers.
we got Common over that Pete Rock soul. We got Common on that Pete Rock soul. Pete Rock brought the shits. We got
Yo.
we got peak Pete Rock. We got that core Pete Rock, but it was new shit.
Yeah, it was new, modern Pete Rock and
And we
what he
got
was
it twice
grooving with.
because the Sky Zoo album by Pete Rock is
Yeah,
banging.
it's banging.
Them
Yeah,
the
yeah,
production on there is nuts.
yeah.
So Premiere has the
And
ability.
these ain't long awaited albums either. This ain't like
No,
we
these were
didn't
just
see Common
albums.
and Pete Rock in the future. I didn't see that at all.
Nah,
You
this
know.
is
And shout out
this.
to Common. Common did albums with very prominent producers. We
Yeah,
talking Pete Rock, Dilla, Pharrell. He did No ID, Twilight Tone. You know what I
yeah. He's
mean?
been through
Like
all the top producers,
Premiere.
all the core producers that you want.
Yeah, the Roots. He ran through the Roots.
I wish I could have heard him more on some on De La production
Yeah, De
and
La.
more. I
Yeah,
would have loved to hear him on Q-Tip production back in Q-Tip's prime.
yeah. Q-Tip
Back in
Prime with
that
Common, Prime
yeah.
Common and Q-Tip. Yeah, that would have been murderous. That would
Or a
have
new
been.
Q-Tip. Like imagine Common on that LL production.
That would have been
That album
super.
with Common.
Yeah, that would have been super dope.
We were talking
Super
Electric
dope.
Circus Part 2.
Part two, but it would have
It
been
would have been because
more
Q-Tip
concentrated.
is next level, but
Right,
Pete Rock is next level. I was looking for this to be Premier's next level return to his source material, so to speak.
right.
I thought it was going to be a comeback, and I was not satisfied with the production. And this is saying a lot because Nas is not like I've been bored with Nas for years.
Okay.
I knew he had it in him, but I wasn't getting it. But I got it, but I didn't get it with the beats. And I'm like, well, I'll take the lyrics.
I take the lyrics.
So next
I
album,
went for
I'm
the
expecting
lyrics.
him and P Rock, Nas and P Rock next, or Nas and Q-Tip next. Go Nas and fucking and Large Pro next. Go
Nas
back
and
to your
Large Pro. I'm
homies.
with that.
Go back to your homies.
Back to the homies. You're
Back to the
doing
start.
music. There's not a record. There's not a radio record on this album. So it's all just underground bangers. Welcome to the underground. You talking about the underground. So
I think you don't think he could do any of these as radio records as singles with like video and shit? I mean, I'm seeing a lot of these songs with dope videos would be great singles because they're telling stories and they're narrating these scenarios.
If he made it like that, yeah, yeah, anything could be a single. But I mean, just
Like
because
you
I
mean
had
like those like
conversations with
commercial
other
success
people that
singles.
listen to this album. Yeah, there's some people was requesting that commercial song or that type of radio rotated song because
But it's
Nas is known for that too.
hence no
So
ooh la las,
there's no
no
ooh la
DeWick,
las, no Dewicks.
none
There's
of
no
those
ooh la
type of like
las.
fun banger songs,
Yeah, yeah. So
which is
you
what
know.
Nas would have killed right now with these
Nas would have
lyrics the way he's
murdered.
spitting.
Yeah, it would have been stupid crazy. You had a little banger out there. So and that's what bangers are, you know.
Yeah,
It don't have to
it's a
be the super
complete shit.
concentrated, make you think type record. It could be the lighthearted, you know,
You
banger
just
that
spitting,
everyone
man.
could
You
just
just
enjoy and you
spitting.
just spitting, you know what I mean? So, you know.
That's
So yeah,
interesting. It's oh
yeah,
man,
man.
poor Premiere.
Because
And I
hey,
love
we're not the
Premiere,
only ones
man.
saying this, man. The internet is tearing this shit apart. They're
Oh, I haven't
dissecting
seen
this
anything
album.
yet.
Yeah, they're really saying some people say they don't even they're tired of premiering and scratching. So that's why I want to break it down in hip hop. These are the elements of hip hop. If you like the music or not, this is hip hop. And Premier is a staple in the culture. And he did push and open the door for all these other producers to come out till we at now with Alchemist and all that shit, you
So
know.
let's talk about that with the
Alchemist
scratching
ain't the
though
only
too.
producer in the world too. So let's move on from
Nah,
that
like nah, you ain't
narrative.
even gotta like that's another
Yeah,
thing. But again, we have to separate the mainstream consumer. You see what I'm saying? The mainstream
right.
consumer's opinion does not matter when we're talking about culture.
Culture,
Like
right.
mainstream opinion is useless in this conversation. So they can
Yeah,
talk about they're only talking about who the industry feeds them.
right.
Like somebody asking me who my top 5 white rappers are. And your top and then you know what I'm saying? Like Eminem is mentioned by this like you like when I mentioned my top 5 white rappers, he was like, you didn't say Eminem. And it's like, is that the only rapper you know that's white? Then that's your
Yeah,
problem.
that's
That's
your
your problem
problem
number one.
because yeah, I got homies. Shout out to
Like
Cedric
get out of here.
Kaye. Shout out to
Man, like,
Josh Street, man. Shout out to the homies,
but
man.
that's
Shout
the
out
point.
to
Like
the
when you
raw
get into those,
office in general,
yeah,
man. That's the
for
homies.
real. So when and this is, and that's not disrespect or shade, but I'm saying like you got to understand the mindset of the person that you're talking about when
Nah,
you
ain't
talk
no
about this.
shade. No, because if you're going to ask me that question, then I'm going to break it down to you because, like you said, it's part of the culture. You want me to give you Paul Wall and all these
The
other
industry
answers.
standards.
Nah, motherfucker, I got a guy over here named Matlock that could burn motherfuckers. I know a cat named Quail that over here that's certified killer meat. You know what I mean? Like,
Certified
fuck
killer
killer
meat.
meat.
Hey, that's his new nickname.
Killer meat.
He's certified killer meat Chris. You're oh, that's funny as hell.
Shit.
But anyway, yeah.
Rapping mood, man. That Nas got me charged, man. I'm just in a rapping mood,
nah,
man.
but that's
That's
the point.
seeing shit.
And
So,
all this to say, if you understand where production and what the value of scratching is, Premiere has not stepped up his scratching has been in the same pocket since Mass Appeal.
right.
It ain't evolved.
Yeah,
Other
yeah,
people's
yeah.
scratches have evolved. He's still sounding like he's still doing the same scratching, like the exact same scratching
So it's a
sound.
little bit of both, man. It could be a little bit of both, man.
It might
It's a
be
perplex.
it's complicated to imagine that a producer gets with one of the coldest MCs in the game and doesn't put the code like there's no reason why a premiere album with Nas should not knock less than a West Side Gun knock. You know what I'm saying? Where every song hits you in the face. There's no
And
reason
I
that
don't
that didn't
think he be
happen.
mixing and mastering all his shit.
Nah, he just be throwing shit out. They
He
just be,
be throwing
that
shit
whole
out.
little
So
that shit.
that
But
shit be banging.
that's my point. Why would that not be the expectation of a producer at the level of Premiere with an MC at the level of
Because
Nas?
the track history. That's what I'm saying. The track history haven't been too
They
much.
haven't built that chemistry yet. I think that's the thing. Nas is in an interesting space, but they need to spend more time together. So maybe if they do another album together, we'll get that.
I think they kind of need each other. And maybe, if this do grow into more albums and stuff, then that could be something. Premiere, some producers need that MC to
Yeah,
push forward with.
yeah, we
And
know you do.
sometimes an MC need a producer to go move forward
Ooh.
with.
So we might
So
get this might be the new crew. We're gonna get
yeah, it might be a new
The
crew.
Nas Premier and the Common
Yeah.
P Rock is the new
Common
jam.
P Rock, those are two pinnacle, like those are two parallels too.
Yeah,
They
the
did
top
songs
MCs in their
together,
class.
but these are like there are like bizarro world, so to speak. Common and Nas parallel, dude. So,
Yeah.
like I said, this is an interesting time that we're in, and never seen these collabs work. Never seen these collabs before. I rather say,
Not
but
yet. Yeah.
but if it continues, I'm down to see what else happens, and maybe we'll get into a more freer premiere and Nas. But Nas is on point for me. I have no problems with the Nas part. DJ Premier, the beats are it don't really stick to the ribs as people would say.
Yeah.
And but they're decent.
That's what I said.
They're
They're
decent
mid. It's just
enough.
they're not high for Premiere.
But yeah.
They're still better than some other people's
For this
production out there.
collaboration
Yeah.
expectation, and it is 30-20 years. So if 30-20 years and niggas grew on your music and now you're introducing people to the music, it was certain criteria. I didn't have a high criteria based off
That's
what
unfortunate.
I've been hearing from Premiere. No, it was for
I know you
Premiere.
said. That's what I'm saying. It's his fault.
I know
You know what I'm
Nas because
saying?
I'm listening to Nas on all these other songs. I'm like, nah, he's setting it up. And the way the daylight hit, I was like, nah, he's setting
But
it up.
Premier got a track on there,
But he have a few tracks on it,
and they was bangers.
and they was bangers. So
this is like Bizarro Math. That's what this is.
But some people didn't like those songs. So
We're doing Steiner math right now. Like this shit is insane. Like
shout out to Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker is the new for the WWE. If you're going to watch, that's Scott Steiner's like nephew or some shit, and he's doing Steiner math. He's doing Steiner promos, dude. That shit is hilarious.
Yeah, that shit's
So
great.
shout out to Braun Breaker. He's the reason I'm watching wrestling. If I'm watching it, is because of this guy, because he's gonna be the new Brock Lesnar. Like this they setting it up that way. So shout out to him. But all right, that's enough of this talk on Nas and shit, man.
Yeah,
y'all listen to the album and y'all tell me what y'all feel about it. Y'all know what's on the platforms, social media and shit. My guy hit me up on the message, like what you feel about the Nas and Premiere. So y'all tune into this episode, subscribe, share, chop it up, share it, clip it up if you want. We give you that permission because this is our heartfelt, review, because and you're not gonna get a review like this because we from this.
Yeah, we from the cloth.
This cloth. This is what we grew up on. So you know what I mean? This is the shit that motivated me to go to high school. I'm walking to high school, listening to Gangsta and shit. So this is my shit. So I'm gonna be critical about it. So yeah,
100%, and necessarily so. And we're gonna start a conversation about this in the Fly Nerd Group face group page.
Yep.
To really dig it in. So if you want to get in that conversation, pull up.
Yep.
Speaking of, shout out to Jura Shahid, who's in the Fly Nerd Group Facebook page. He hit me up. He had something that was bothering him that I really never got to the root of, and he was feeling some kind of way about something that happened with one of his posts that I'm not aware of, and I was trying to get clarity on that, but I think we had a misunderstanding, and I don't like to leave misunderstandings, especially in the sense of my name being understanding, but nonetheless.
Now, what was
I don't know. I don't know what happened. Something happened. I didn't see the post, but he said something happened where he had a post. He was trying to communicate on it and say something. Something happened, and then the post is gone. So I don't know if something happened in the post, said something, and Facebook might have deleted it.
Facebook be acting funny, so it'd be certain words and things that people post or certain content that sometimes be getting dinged and shit. And I am one of the moderators on there, so it probably was a ding that I had got on Facebook behalf. And I don't like dealing with that ding shit, man, because it's funny metrics and all that shit. So I just get rid of it.
Yeah, yeah, I feel you on that. I
Yeah,
mean, it's
if
just a
it's a
clean
ding or
slate because it'll
something,
fuck up the
yeah,
whole shit.
yeah, if it's a ding or something, I just get rid of it because I ain't got time to be arguing and testing and appealing and all this shit. Because it be copyrights, it be certain little things you can't even put shit in your stories that have certain music because you'll get dinged for that shit. So I don't know about y'all, but I see some shit, I just get rid of it. So no disrespect to anything to anyone who be posting into the Facebook groups. None, there's nothing. But if I see dings and red markings on there, I just get rid of the red markings. I'm sorry. And it's
Okay,
even
so
if it's my shit. So, if I post something, I get a ding, I just get rid of it. It's like it's not that necessary then. Fuck it. Let's move on.
word. Well, there you go. That mystery solved. All right.
We got enough
Um,
creatives. So, speaking about creatives and universes, do you have time to talk about this series, brother?
you know what? I think we need a whole episode to itself because there's a lot to talk about. Because now, after watching up to episode 7 of Derry, I got to
Uh-huh.
really get into my king bag, and
Yeah.
and realized that a lot of this shit I was reading King as a kid,
Okay, so
so
that's what I'm
I'm
saying.
reading King in
Yep.
the like literally as a kid. So a lot of things, the way
Yep.
I remember it, is a
Yep.
little more of kid imaginative. So I'm calling the Crimson King like a sorcerer and a wizard and shit, and understanding there's a lot of connections. So yes, we're gonna talk about it, but there's still another episode of Dairy to finish on.
So let's
So
wait for that, and then
let's
we'll
close
just
it
talk
out. And then
about
we'll
the
do the
whole.
whole because it's a whole multiverse that we can get into with King. And going back to remember when we talked about the differences between Dairy and Stranger Things, right?
Yeah.
And I was
Yeah.
mentioning how it got its resurgence of interest because Stranger Things came in riding on the concept that Stephen King created in his multiverse. Derry then goes and says, "Well, I'm gonna show you how it's done because
Well,
this is our shit."
I'm going to show you, motherfucker. And
Right.
then this is the thing. This is a HBO Max series. Remember, it was Agatha and the Penguin,
Yeah. And the
and
penguin at the
you'll
same
choose
time.
Agatha, and I choose the Penguin. And by the time you got to the Penguin, he was like, "Hey man, I want to switch. I want to
Yeah, yeah.
switch shows."
Nah, for real, for real. HBO Max is not to be fucked with.
It's not to be fucked with. So you
Their
watch this
production is
show.
mature,
Yeah, yeah, they get
terrifying.
busy. They get busy.
It's terrifying.
They
So
get busy.
it, I will say this, it on this show, well, should I say Pennywise on this show is fucking ridiculous.
So who's scarier, this Pennywise or the other actor Pennywise?
Oh,
Now you
Tim
gotta
Curry's
remember
Pennywise is
Tim Curry Pennywise do look frightening. If you seen that motherfucker
yeah,
walk
the
down,
fucking sharp teeth and shit. Like, so,
yeah,
and the claws, first of all,
yeah,
it's not fair because when I was watching the original It series as a kid,
yeah,
when I was younger,
yeah,
and reading that book, I was fucking
yeah.
because I've already had the imagination from reading the book, and then I'm watching this, so
So
I'm
yeah.
connecting all this kid energy. So I have a different connection to Tim Curry's fucking version of Pennywise. That really still to this day fucks with me. But
So let's get into that next time because that's what I'm saying. Was all of this intentional of him creating this universe? All these books
yes, it
that we
is. It's
read back
100%
in the day,
intentional.
and all of this shit that's happening now, it's like really tying in the universe here. And this is the first guy that I was ever say that created the universe like subliminally. You know what I mean? Like you wouldn't probably think all of this shit connect until you see this.
Fam, when we start really getting into the deep of this, and you
Yeah.
understand that Derry is mentioned in other movies and the books. Derry was mentioned in Pet Cemetery. If you look at
What?
that map, if you look at the map, Derry is mentioned. Derry is on that map in Pet Cemetery. This shit is all connected, and he did not do that by accident because in his, which is my as a young adult, this is like probably like early teenage years, the um the Dark Tower series, and I honestly never finished that entire series. Or maybe I did. It's like 10, 12 books, maybe 7, 8 books, somewhere in there. But I remember reading it. And I read the that book series because I was discovering fantasy and I was really into that type of shit. And I had somebody I knew, like an older relative, who saw that I was into like watching all the Conan and all that type of shit, and I was into cowboy shit, and they was like, "Well, how about a book with all of that?" And I'm like, "What you mean? A book
Mm.
with cowboys? A book
Mm-hmm.
with sword and sorcery? A book with
Mm-hmm.
fucking demons and magic? A book with
Mm-hmm.
fucking quantum physics and time travel and
Yeah.
interdimensional rifts and horror?" And I'm like, "What the fuck is this?" And so he gives me this dark tower book, and I'm like, "Holy shit, this is amazing." And yeah, that shit stuck with me. And then that's when I realized after reading it that, oh, I need to read this. And then it's like, oh, you probably want to read that book to understand. And I'm reading, like now I'm reading this separate
So you
book.
reading all these other
I'm
books,
reading these
all these
random books and realizing niggas like Dick, like he's in
what?
several books. Several books. There's characters.
Oh, oh.
No, yeah. See
Just
the
the way you
character.
said it. I was like, what?
You funny, man. Nah, like these characters, there's recurring characters. So Pennywise, what Pennywise is, he's not the only entity, that version, that type of creature. There's another one in the in the Stephen King universe. There's more than one.
So there's more than one.
Yeah,
So
he's not the
Hollerin
only
ain't the
one.
only one.
No,
But
well,
Hollerin
Pennywise,
might
no,
be.
Pennywise ain't
Oh,
the only one I'm saying.
oh, Pennywise
Pennywise is
ain't the
not the only one of those things. Now he's the only one on Earth, as far as we know, other than Mary Poppins. But he's not
Whoa,
the
Mary Poppins is related
It's
to this?
this is fan fiction, but it's kind of plays into it. Mary Poppins shows up cyclically. She feeds off of joy and happiness. But this is all fan fiction. This is not fact. This is not actual Stephen
What
King
about
related.
Peter Pan?
No.
Oh.
But the creature in the Stephen King universe that also is of whatever Pennywise is,
What about
it
R. Kelly?
yes. Yes. R. Kelly, yes, 100%. R. Kelly is one of those in real life. Yes, 100%. R. Kelly feeds off of pleasure and ecstasy. So, but the other character in the Stephen King universe feeds off of your happiness, your laughter.
Mm.
And you know how the people in this, when they get afraid, the pheromone, the chemicals that are released into the bloodstream is what Pennywise loves to eat. This creature loves to feed off of the chemicals released from your happiness and laughter. So
Okay.
where Pennywise presents itself as a clown to draw in kids, this creature presents itself as a comedian and tells
Mm.
jokes and makes you laugh and keeps
Hmm.
you laughing, and then it'll eat you.
Yeah, because that's what
That's what
the
it in
thing
the end.
said
That's
when
what they
he
do, and they
saw.
both use the
All the
deadlights.
kids, all the children are attracted to you.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
They have
Um,
the so they both
yeah.
use the deadlights. The deadlights, and if the deadlights are actually what these things, the closest perception that we can give to what it actually is in its true essence.
So what does that do to a subject?
It it renders you, it breaks your psyche. It breaks you and releases your soul. So it consumes your soul.
So it snatch your soul.
Yeah, and
Oh no.
yeah, see. That's why Pennywise, that's why it looks like Pennywise. It once it snatches your soul. It's basically Shang Tsung.
Shang Tsung.
It's it,
And rest in peace. That
yes.
actor.
Yes,
I
absolutely.
forgot it. Yeah, I don't have his name right now, but rest in
But
peace.
no, but when it steals your soul, it now has the ability to be you, to emulate you and look like you. So it stole Pennywise the clown's
Oh
soul
man.
so it can present itself as Pennywise. And it chose Pennywise as its primary form because kids like it. And so now it's just kind of Pennywise. What does
So
it
that's the
actually look
main.
like? No one knows what it actually looks like. The rumor is, and we touching a little bit, but the rumor is that the actual form is some type of insect-like thing. Now, here's where it gets deep. I'm about to fuck your head up. Pennywise comes from the same place that was opened up in the mist. Yes.
The
So
Mist
the
movie?
mist, that movie, Remember the mist comes in and then like it's a portal that's open. So now Stranger
Yeah.
Things got its idea from the mist. The mist got its idea from the Montauk experiment. It's a dimensional portal was opened up by a government agency in the mist, and and then the mist is the atmosphere from the what is known as the space in between realities.
Holy
This is
moly.
where all the dark creatures exist. These are the ancient things. This is Stephen
Okay.
King's universe. So the mist is where is that same space is where it came from. And remember, I was
So
telling you about the Dark Tower. The Dark
yeah.
Tower sits at the center of the multiverse. When you're in the Dark Tower, you can go to any place in space or time, and that's what is trying. What the Crimson King is trying to destroy because he wants to unleash the dark things. Because we don't know for sure. At least I don't know for sure. I can't remember from the books, but the Crimson King might quite possibly be the oldest of the oldest. He's even older than it. And actually, he also has the deadlights. So we don't know. It's uncertain if the deadlights is their form or if the deadlights are a power that they can use.
Are
But
there aliens?
well, they're all yeah, they're aliens. They're not humans. They're
Not
from
human.
another. They're from other universes and or more specifically in Stephen King's multiverse. So you know, like in Marvel when they were traveling through the multiverse, they had to go through the quantum realm.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
The quantum realm in Stephen King's universe is called the dark something,
Okay.
and that's where all the horrible shit happens. All the
Ah,
horrible creatures exist in this in between space, between the realities, and so you can open up like people with the shine can open portals, and or you can break these portals with your psychic abilities. That's how he was in the movie in the show. He was able to go into those spaces and find out where it was where Pennywise was. He was traveling through those spaces, but in those spaces is some fucked up shit. That's also look.
yeah. So you trying to
11
keep
does
them
the
murked in
same
the dark?
thing. 11 does the same
Yeah.
thing.
Okay.
That space that
Okay.
11 opened a rift to, that is literally a direct nod to the shine
Just shine.
and to the place where all the creatures come from, which is the demigorgons and all that. But in the Stephen
Right.
King universe, it's way worse.
Okay.
It's way worse. Way,
Okay.
way, way worse.
Oh.
Like
Oh.
again, go back to the mist. Them creatures.
I'm gonna watch it later. I'm gonna
Yeah,
watch it
watch the
later.
fucking mist.
Look, I need a list of all the movies I need to see to get all this. That's what I'm
I
saying because I think there's things in Derry that I'm missing that's kind of like important. So that's how I feel while I'm watching it.
yeah,
I'm
and
gonna
I
be
think
like,
this last episode is gonna really set it clear. So understand, like I was just telling you about how the map in Pet Cemetery shows Derry because Derry is not far from where Pet Cemetery took
and Pet
place. It's the town,
Cemetery is
a
one of my
town or two
favorite
over.
movies. My mom used to watch that movie. Yeah, my mom was really into horror. So watching these Stephen King movies from Carrie to Christine, all these little movies, I never thought to put it together that this was all connected. So this is really fascinating to me. So I'm gonna watch The Mist because that's another one I
That's
need to
tied.
watch.
That's there. You'll see a connection, but you're not gonna really see it until you see this next episode of Derry,
Of Derry. Okay.
because you're gonna
Okay.
see there's something that Pennywise is interesting because it is from this place, but it's been on Earth, and we don't know who put him there. Somebody trapped him in this fucking crystal. That crystal has those sigils on it.
And that's the
Those are
crystals that
not
the
the
kids are
indigenous
using.
Americans. Yeah, the indigenous
Yeah.
Americans in the story didn't create those sigils. They found it and used it.
No, they found it. They found it because it
The
landed.
crystal was
He
what it was
landed.
trapped in, and it
They said,
broke when he
yep,
landed.
yep, 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 yep. The crystal was what he was entrapped in, and it broke when he landed, and he let loose. But the Native Americans figured that out, and they took the crystal, broke them in pieces, and put it
The
pretty
13
much
pillars
trapped them into the put them
in the
pillars,
Dairy
and they trapped them
forest.
in the forest.
Yeah,
So if you enter that forest,
good
you're
luck.
gonna get fucked up, but good luck because he's lurking in that forest and you shouldn't go in there. So of course, throughout the time, the fucking pioneers or whatever the fuck you call these savages, the
Colonizers.
colonizers. There you go. The colonizers came and fucked up everything as usual and started digging the shit and
And want to
figuring this shit out.
destroy it.
Want to
Want to
destroy it.
set it free.
want to set it free
The
amongst for what
fuck.
reason? For what
So
reason we don't know.
yeah, there is now this here's the real jewel. So we're dealing with the two parallels from Pet Cemetery to this. In Pet Cemetery, there was the burial grounds.
Mm-hmm.
There was the burial grounds in Derry. That's what they were
Mm-hmm.
digging up. Remember, they said, "Get off our
Mm-hmm.
sacred ground. We can't.
Right.
These are our graves."
Right. Right. Right.
In Pet Cemetery, the grave, the soil was poisoned by
Right.
that artifact also.
Yep. Yep.
You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? So now you're starting to see there's these recurring themes,
But the
but it had a
kid must
different
have the
effect.
shining because when he buried his cat, that motherfucker started coming back.
It's the
And
ground.
so,
No, it's the
so
ground.
is that the ground?
It's the
But
ground because of the
so it
monkey
wasn't
paw.
a shining effect that he had with his cat.
So no, no, no. So the shine can make you see things if you let it. There's
Right.
different levels to the shine. Everybody doesn't have the same level to the shine. But one of
Uh-huh.
the characteristics of the shine, which you saw in The Shining, was niggas can see dead.
See
You see
dead
dead
people.
people. Yeah.
From the boy
So
to Jack.
yep, you see the dead people. You see all the crazy shit. So and guess and now the movie is bogus. The Shining movie is great, but it's bogus because it kills off your boy who's in that
Kills
movie.
off hollering. Yeah, it's the last.
It
So
kills,
that's
but
what
in the
got
book he
me.
didn't get killed off.
Huh?
He didn't get killed off in the book. He didn't die in the
I
book. He
heard.
actually,
Yeah, I
yeah, he
heard
didn't
he
die.
didn't die, but I heard he
But
didn't die.
in the
So,
movie he died. Now,
but
go
that
ahead.
was racist. But I think that
Well,
was
it
racist.
was yeah, that was well no, as a part of it, they didn't I think the people at the time who were doing the movie didn't quite understand how to use that character. Not understanding that that character is a recurring character in the universe.
Right. That's what I thought it was a be.
And then the boy in The Shining grows up and in the book Doctor Sleep.
And now that's I seen that recently, and that was dope
I didn't
because
see it
now
yet. I don't see that
he was
movie.
a he was a spirit form for Danny, and
Because of the
he was
book,
his
because
guide.
because he
Yeah,
had to, he
yeah,
was dead in the movie. But in the books,
yeah.
he was really training them.
So he was really training them, but that's where he got his training from was hollering.
Yep.
And but Danny in the movie, Danny shunned his powers away, and he started living a regular life. But
Wouldn't
then
you?
you got man, this X-Men level, nigga. You a X-Men, bro. You
You don't want me
you
to talk.
you
What you saw how hollering was
Oliver
when
was like, "Don't talk to them, nigga." And then when they start talking, he was looking like the craze on the
because
Simpsons
they're all
episode and
talking
shit.
to you
Like,
at the same time and they don't
yeah,
shut up
that don't shut up.
because they
That's
don't have nobody to
fucking.
talk to.
Yep, yep, yep.
And now they
That's
talking, so they
fucked
all
up.
trying to get your attention, and you just
That
sitting there
is
like, what the fuck?
fucked up.
Non-stop. So you can't sleep,
You
you
can't
can't
sleep.
relax.
Yeah, you can't do nothing because a spirit gonna come in. These ain't just spirit. These are gruesome.
For whatever way they died is the way they
Yeah,
look.
is the way they look. So fuck, dude. Yeah, that's wild. So The Shining is deep.
Yeah.
And yeah, so the Dr. Sleep kick off with Danny, and he got alert from this other young girl who had The Shining. Very, very powerful though. Astral projection is involved. You know, she's getting chased by hunters that actually capture little kids and absorb. Well, they take their spirit away. That's what it looked like to me. They was absorbing their spirit and shit, or
Or
their
in what?
shining, huh?
In what?
In Dr. Sleep. It
Oh, I
was a
haven't seen it.
group.
Okay.
It was a group of hunters that will hunt down the kids with the shining, the most powerful kids.
Oh, so that's yeah. Now you okay? Now you getting into the Dark Tower shit.
Yeah, so they'll hunt down the kids, and then they'll absorb they'll hurt the kid, and then the kid will release this like gas or gaseous chemical,
That's yeah.
and they'll absorb this chemical and they'll give them more ventilation. This is all deep, man. So then they'll absorb all the life. I call it soul or life energy. They absorb the life energy from these kids. And then they'll go and hunt down the next kid. So she was being most powerful, this girl, and she reached out for Danny for help. And then he had to come back and do what he had to do. But it led him back to that hotel, and
That's the
yeah,
hotel.
things go full circle, man. Things go full circle.
Yep. So all of this shit is tied together in one great multiverse of dopeness.
I'm with it,
And I'm
man.
glad they're
I'm with it.
finally doing the connecting dots because now we get to have a if they really are planning to do this, they can really dig into this shared universe and then go back. The Dark Tower, the movie, wasn't bad. It just wasn't good.
It wasn't good either, right?
But it wasn't bad. But also, they didn't really understand that the Dark Tower is as much like action as it is horror. But they didn't make it horror,
Yeah,
but
they
they
didn't,
could
they
have.
didn't dive in that. And maybe that was the miss element of it to make it more dark action horror. But
Hmm.
they missed that mark. So, but I'm going to still revise those movies because I want to know all this shit. I might,
Hmm.
if you haven't read the books, y'all pick up these books. Like we said, read the books. If it is comic, if it's literature, pick the shit up and read it because it's a fun read for one, and then two, you want to watch these shows and get the full scope of things. It's always best to read. So, moving forward, do you have time for the Supergirl trailer?
Yeah, let's talk about it. Let's go.
All right. So, Supergirl trailer dropped. Well, by the time this podcast dropped, you probably have seen it already. So, yeah, man, this I. All right, so I was tripping on the Peacemaker season 2, which I still stand on business. I think it was an underwhelming season, but it was setting up a lot of shit, you know what I mean, and it's about to move forward. I like Creature Commandos, and I like Superman, so now it made me understand Superman a little bit more. This was a day of the life in Superman. That's
Yeah,
how that
this is
movie
just
was. It
showing
was
you what it
you
is.
picking up a comic book. This is how it is, or what's going on currently. Then really, it may lead to some things, but this is the current state of what Superman is doing in the Justice League and all that shit. This is the current state right here. So this is going beyond that, and we're taking it to the space. DC is known for space, as you said, right?
Hmm.
So now we getting Supergirl and getting her day in the life, and probably getting some backstory of what happened to Krypton.
Hmm.
And some people say they didn't get an understanding of what the movie is about from the trailer, which I find weird. Did you watch the trailer, motherfucker, or was you just looking into your phone? Like, put that shit
Yeah,
on a
I
real
mean,
screen
we
and
don't
watch it.
know what the motivation in the trailer. Like the trailer did not give motivation because it's not really a trailer; it's a teaser.
It's a teaser, right?
It's just to show you what
So
this
it's
is,
just
what it's going to
showing
look like,
clips
and
of
this is
what it
the
looked like.
elements. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But and my thing is that you don't have to get it. Like I don't. Why do you want to
I
know
don't
so
want to
bad?
get it.
You
I
know what I'm
don't want to
saying?
get
Like
it.
wait for the
I
movie
don't
to
want
come
to
out.
get it. Yeah, I don't want to get it at all. So this is all I need to see to why really. But I know we're gonna see more. So
But the main thing we got is that Kara is a polar opposite of
of
Kal-El.
Superman. Yes,
She
of
is the
Kal-El.
polar opposite. Like
Yeah.
he's the do-gooder, and she don't
Yeah.
get no
She
fucks.
don't give no fucks. And
She's
like
not
you
a
said,
hero.
what she say, we here see hope, but I see the truth or some shit.
Yeah.
Wherever the catchphrase was. But yeah, she's not the hero. She's not here to
To
save
save cats and
cats
squirrels and
from
shit.
trees and shit. She ain't doing all. And that's what I mean. That's the depiction of Superman that James Gunn was depicting. It was like he's the do-gooder. So he's the guy who do that.
Yup.
She, on the other hand, ain't on that shit at all. And she get drunk, she party, you know what I
She
mean?
just trying to
And
live her life. Like,
she
she
living her
remembers
life, but
Krypton.
she's drinking. I was gonna say she's drinking her pain away
Mm-hmm.
because she's seen her whole planet being destroyed. She's a witness of that.
Yeah.
She didn't get the luxury of being vanished off as a baby where you don't remember those things. She's seen it all. So, and still got these powers and still trying to understand herself and her place. And that's where it comes from the book Woman of Tomorrow.
Figuring
So
out how she's gonna fit into the scheme of things. Like,
yeah,
is she gonna embrace the legacy as Kal-El did, or is she going to, fuck about and become a Zod? Like
yeah,
because she could very
yeah.
well, she
She
could have
could
went
do
that
that.
way.
Yeah, she could do that. She could do that. So that's what I get from it. And I'm excited. And yes, it showed a little glimpse of the best man,
Yeah,
the
the
man,
man.
the man, Lobo.
And Lobo
So
is Lobo, eh?
and Lobo is
Like
Lobo, and even
all
with the
that
little
aura, he
shot.
aura forming like a
Yeah,
motherfucker. He just
yes, even with that little
cigar.
glimpse. You see the cigar, you see the hair, you see the leather, you see the skin tone. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
here he come, man. All right, so that's all I needed. I don't want to hear him talk
No, we don't need to hear
until.
nothing because we know it's gonna be fucking crazy.
Yeah, I don't want to hear him say shit. So you know what I
And
mean.
Jason
So
Momoa is on a tirade because he's also in another trailer that dropped,
I know,
Baraka. You know what I'm saying?
Blanca, the
Blanca.
fucking Street Fighter trailer. So
This
shout
motherfucker.
out to Corey Green, man.
I hope it's good. I just hope it's good.
I hope it's good. Look, after I seen this, after I seen the casting, I know
That
what
shit's
level movie
hilarious.
this going to be. This
Yeah.
going to be the high action,
Wow
special effects,
comments.
wow,
That type of shit.
yeah, really crazy video game movie. I think they're going to take it to the craziness of. If you play the video game is crazy. You're not playing it for storyline. You're playing it for the fights. You
And kick
might
ass
be
and some
yeah, kick
crazy results.
ass. You might fight a car or some shit. You know what I mean? Like these are little elements you get from video games. You could take it to a final fight level of making a film. Would you film that as a grounded movie, or would you take the zany two scroll scenery? You punching barrels and getting turkeys and shit to eat
Right.
and energize. You know what I mean? Like these are some of the goofy shits that was in the game. So if you take these aspects and put it in the film, this could be a different direction of how video game films are made, and you could take things like this, like Frogger. What would you make? How would you film Frogger? As a,
Hey, why you say that though? Remember the Adam Sandler movie?
the
Pixel.
pixels?
That shit was great.
Pixels.
I
Yeah.
love that because they took all of the video game tropes and turned it into a story
And
that was
turn
really
into
good.
that was
I
really
like
actually
that shit.
good. So yeah, so you could take these concepts and really put it to film. So I'm not expecting a Marvel storyline with type of story or
Nah,
serious, deep, thorough storyline with Street Fighter.
I'm
I
expecting an
just don't
over the
see it.
top grindhouse feature.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just I don't give a fuck. I'm here
Yeah.
to see some action and
I'm
some
here to see some
crazy
action, some crazy
comments,
shit.
some Big Trouble in
And
Little China shit.
right, there you go. There you go.
Let's just get
There
action
you
and
go.
some maybe throw some story in between the action, but mostly I
Yeah.
want action.
Yeah, it may focus on Raul and Ken, and that's cool because I mean, if you think about it, this Roman Reigns first acting, big acting shit. You got Cody Rhodes, he's Gal. Roman Reigns, he's Akuma. You
Yeah.
got 50 Cent as Balrog, and you got a whole bunch. Now, shout out to Drunken Monkey because he went on live and he broke it down. These other actors as playing the characters are martial artist actors, so that's where it's going to drive for. It's one of the movies where and dude who playing Raul, he's a good actor, but
Oh,
he's a
Ryu
good
is a good
yeah,
fucking overall.
yeah,
Like he
yeah.
played Storm Shadow
In
in
GI
some
Joe movie.
in one of them movies. I think it was the Snake Eyes one.
Okay, word. Oh yeah, okay, bet. So yeah, so we'll just see where it go. But I'm not putting it. But it looked fun, and
That's
that's
all
why
I
I'm gonna
want. All I
say.
want. I
Yeah,
want.
it
I
looked fun.
want
That's
the
all I'm gonna say.
return to like Mummy Returns type level shit.
Yeah,
I don't take it seriously. Just have fun.
yeah.
Let's
And
just
you never
entertain
know if
me.
Capcom said they're gonna do Mega Man type of
Man,
franchise, man.
man, if they do a live action Mega Man, I'm gonna lose my mind.
Yeah,
And I want a live action
yeah.
Metroid.
I want that too. I want
I
that
want a
too.
live action
Oh, and
Metroid.
Zelda's cooking. They don't
Oh, the
talk
live
about it,
action
but
Zelda,
yeah,
yeah,
live action Zelda is cooking. So look out for that.
yeah.
So real
They're
quick,
keeping that on hush hush.
yeah. So Resident Evil, Capcom, another relatable thing. Leon is back, so they dropped the
Leon is
trailer.
back, and he got more mobility.
Yeah, more mobility, not the stopping.
Back up.
Oh, back up, reverse, open door,
Yeah, and then it's like a
close it.
pause. Niggas chasing you,
Yeah.
and you gotta stop and do some shit. Like what?
Stop and turn and run downstairs. Press X.
Like, get
Do
out of here.
it.
I'm dead already. Like too late.
Do it.
Yeah, nah,
So
that's gonna be fun. And then
yeah.
actually they got a Mega Man game coming out. New Mega
Yeah,
Man
Mega
game
Man
coming out.
game coming out. That's coming out soon. And they, like I said, Capcom is going to focus on Mega Man to make it,
To bring it back to the
to bring
forefront.
it back. They bring it back to IP and make that one of the main IPs now. So Mega Man is going to be shooting for Mega Man to be on Mario level.
And
So
it should be. It
and
should
it
be.
should be. It should be. So yeah, let's go. I'm down for that. If y'all are a fan of that video game Control, they dropped the trailer for their sequel. I don't have the name of it right now, but it's going to come out more
Is it
later
still
next
called
year.
Control or something else?
Nah, it's something else. This is different. This is like a dude with this big old like battle axe or some shit, and it's more. It looked crazy. It looked very dark. It looked very dope though. At the same time, with the skill sets and what he was doing in the game, what I saw, it looked freaky. So
Okay. Okay.
if you fan of Control, that's based off of some books and shit I heard of as well. So
Okay.
it's a lot of lore everywhere, you know.
A lot
So
of lore,
check that out.
lore,
Oh,
lore,
and
lore.
Lantern's trailer, a Lantern's
Ooh,
teaser drop.
lanterns, which is a whole
Lanterns,
different energy again. Like it
whole
looks
different vibe.
nothing like these other. Like it
Yeah,
doesn't look like Supergirl, which is
nah,
cosmic level, and it
right.
doesn't look like Superman, which is very much superhero s.
Yeah, comic book level. So
This
this
shit look
looks
gritty, grimy.
gritty and grimy. This is another HBO.
Yeah,
So
so we already know.
Netflix, you bought some gems, man. Netflix, you better do right, man. And if I give you 5 years to get this shit working, but
Oh, Netflix already good.
yeah,
Remember they
you
did
want it,
Extraction and
yeah,
Extraction
yeah.
2.
So if you take this shit to the next, let them cook and just up the level, you tight. So nah, man, this look gritty. Got Hal jumping out the car, leaving the ring in the car. Like, look, man,
Man, so
you ain't the
he's
man until the ring
basically
tell you the man.
he testing John Stewart. And John Stewart as a lantern is my favorite lantern
Yeah, mine too.
because he is all business.
Yeah,
But the way he's being trained right now, by like I would not want to be trained by Hal Jordan. Before I saw that trailer, I wouldn't want to be like Hal Jordan is fucking nuts. Hal Jordan's crazy. And he's a daredevil. He gives
yeah.
no fucks about his own life, let alone other people's lives. Like he's insane. And so him jumping out of a moving car, heading towards a cliff, leaving John in the car, but puts the ring on the damn dashboard before he jumps out, making some smart ass comment. That's all I need to know. This is fucking Hal Jordan. This is Hal Jordan at his peak. Fucking crazy. Like I don't like why like the ring chose the wrong one, but the right one kind of shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, at the same time,
Hal is
ring know what he's
nuts.
doing. So it's like this nigga nuts, but we need him. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
because
We,
he's
we
he's
need
he's
you need a
fearless.
little nut.
He has no
Yeah,
fear.
you kind of need this type of person.
He
So
has no fear, and it shows. Like,
that clip showed a different tone of cinematography, a
yeah,
different tone of where it's going, but it's all going to add up. So now I'm excited because now you get to see Superman, you got Supergirl in space, and then you got the lanterns here that could be in space later
yeah.
down
We
the
don't even know where the
line,
fuck
but
they are. To be
yeah,
honest with
we don't know where they at. So
you, they don't have to be on Earth.
yeah, they don't have to be on Earth at all. So we don't know where they at. So this is the DC universe coming to fruition. So I'm excited because now I told y'all, and you could go back to the Fly Nerd Primetime Live joints. Y'all let the op, you let your soldier, you fired your soldier, and then the op hired him to run the show. Now we in prime time, baby. I mean, the competition, the creativity is going on. They say it's not a competition, but this is a fucking competition. Everything is competitive, nigga. So
Let's
this is
go.
DC popping. This is DC popping. Now, Marvel, you better get your shit together
Man, they got
because
Doom coming. I ain't worried about them.
all right. All
I ain't
right.
worried about
Trailer
Doom
next
pulling
week.
up.
So next time you hear us, we're gonna be talking about the Doomsday trailer. So
I ain't worried
and
about
that's in a
Doom.
week. So let's see. Let's talk about it. Let's talk
Doom
about
is
it because it's
coming.
popping now. We got the
Operation
lanterns,
Doomsday.
Operation Doomsday. Let's go.
Yeah, it's gotta be MF Doom in there.
Let's go. Let's go. I hope if they do the trailer with Doom on there, I'm going to flip in my chair by sitting in the chair. Like,
That's all I
oh,
need to
yeah,
acknowledge that. Well,
yeah.
they acknowledge Tony Stark,
Real briefly, real
Ghostface.
briefly, real
That's all you
briefly.
need is a brief.
We'll
That
see.
was a brilliant moment. And the
We'll
fact that
see. But
Ghostface didn't realize why he was in the movie at the time.
he didn't know. He didn't know. Poor
That's
man.
funny as hell.
Poor Uncle
Hey,
Ghost.
shout out to the
Shout
God.
out
That's
to
so,
Ghost, man. Shout out to the God, man.
uh,
Yeah, when you come to Chicago, we gonna definitely try to
oh,
check
that's
you
some
out.
funny shit. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's that. But nah, there's we got some exciting shit that's on the horizon. We still about to get, don't forget, what's due Wonder Man is about to come out.
Wonder Man is showing up too. And people are tripping on the marketing, but I'm good on that. You ain't gotta show me nothing. Just let me know when it's out, and then I'll watch it. I'll give
And
it
we
a
don't even
shot.
know what it's about.
Yeah, I don't even know. I don't care what it's about.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
want
like
to know.
that's the thing. We've gotten to this instant gratification. I got to know
Yeah, people
everything
want to know too
before.
much. Y'all nosy as fuck, man. What's wrong with y'all, man?
Nope.
That's what's wrong with you. That's why your expectations is set on high standard and shit, because you got this whole album and movie and series in your head. And then when you hear this shit in real life, oh man, it's not what I wanted. Yeah, boo-hoo. Man, let's celebrate Nas for putting up an album that we waited for 20 or 30 years to do. I don't care if you like it or not, nigga. I'll slap the shit out you. For real. Fuck that. Nas did his thing. It's the King's Universe. Salute to him. Fuck that shit, man. Fuck that. You know what I
There's
mean?
people that didn't like Nas either.
People that don't like Nas. Oh yeah, I had conversations yesterday. It was a controversial day. Like I heard split decisions. Niggas don't like Nas too. I got calls about that. Like, no,
I
Nas didn't do it. Nas didn't
nah.
do it.
I, I don't know what they looking for, but where you go? Like the subject is the thing that won me over. The content.
Subject got me. The content,
Like
the subject,
what
the
you want him
way
to do? The
he.
same shit he already said.
Yeah, what the fuck? I don't want to hear about you being rich now. But he said in certain ways, he's into sight, he's into fucking technology, he's into all this stuff to make society better. Like he was talking, like if Tony Stark was a rapper, like these the bars that he was saying. I was like,
Yeah,
100%.
listen.
Listen, you might get a gem. You might get a gem. Y'all weird, man.
Yeah, because
Motherfuckers do this shit.
another person dropped the album, and it was boring.
It was boring. I ain't even gonna say the name because we
Now we ain't
said
gotta
so
say
many
that.
fire shots on here. I ain't even gonna say the name,
Now
but
we ain't giving no names,
motherfuckers,
but that album was weak.
because it's predictable. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So now you get an album where it's not that predictable. These concepts. I thought you looking at the track list, I'm like, this corny fucking titles here. But it was particular about what he was saying. Welcome to the underground. He was talking particularly about that. Pause tapes. He's talking about pause tapes. Writers. He's talking about graffiti. Like it was certain things that it was like
Third Childhood ended up being dope.
Third Childhood is very dope. You know what I mean? That's some people's favorite record. Maybe that could be the singer. Third
Yeah,
Childhood.
Third
You know what I
Childhood would
mean?
be a good one.
Yeah, so the mom song, the women's song on there. Yeah, it's really particular, man. So give it a shot. Stop being a pussy. Just listen to the music. You know what I mean? And enjoy it for what it's worth, because niggas is alive to do it.
That's another
You know what I
part.
mean?
That is an important part of this.
Yeah, niggas is alive. I mean, you're alive to listen to it. So you're alive to, don't be so judgmental. Just enjoy, take something from it and move on, because it's all for the culture anyway.
Or do both.
Or do both. Or be critical. You ain't got to accept the medicine if you don't want. It is what it is. But
you got to listen to be critical. That's the key.
You got to listen to it.
Gotta listen to be
so
critical.
That's why I say I listen to it, so I can say what I want to say about it, because I actually listened to it thoroughly a few times.
Yeah,
few times. Listening. Yeah, so and there you have
shout
it.
out to everybody in the Fly Nerd universe, the gods, the earth.
Word is bond, man. So yeah, this is it. You gonna catch us probably next week after this doomsday it drops. So shout out to y'all, the listeners, the subscribers, the people that's paying attention, because we are here to provide the information, the edutainment
to you.
And you and you and you. So I am the FNIC Fly Nerd in Charge, Cosmo Galactus.
And I am Amby, old nerdy bastard.
Old nerdy bastard.
All the fun. Yeah, exactly. Ooh, shame on
We are the Fly Nerd Group, and you're tuning into WFNG Fly Nerd Radio. We are out. Peace.